What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Falcon Blues TV. It's your boy Sachin here, not for an instant match reaction, but a delayed match reaction. And before we get into it, let me just... I think we all need that. So, watch the match. Match finished. I did not want to make a video. But, with everything that's going on today, beside the match, the allegation that Baxendale got choked out in the car park, the fans confronting the players after the match, and everything else, I felt like I had to share my thoughts. So here we are, delayed match reaction. Let's get right into it. So the lineup, a lot of us have been clamoring for 5 at the back because 4 at the back, 4-3-3 just doesn't work, and we got our wish, 5 at the back. Iwobi, miraculous recovery, came back into the side, no issues with the lineup. And we go into the match. Match is even. 2 shit teams, to be completely honest, going at it. It's like, it's dreadful. 2 championship sides. But Onana, he's, as we all know, only player today that put in a shift. A couple of his tackles were amazing, those long legs. I'm 6'4", played defense, center back, and his long legs, like, he makes it look so easy. I wish I could do what he could do, tracking back and making the tackles. And more important than his tackles was that I've never seen him run as hard. He got out of his first and second gear and was actually fully sprinting for a couple of those tackles. And so he cared. He put his money where his mouth is, as we say over here in the States. And so, that hard work in defense was rewarded with the goal off the corner. Bad marking off the corner, we get 1. Could have had 2 in the first half. Iwobi's chance narrowly wide on the far post there. That Bazunu really doesn't command his area well, I think. And yeah, the first half I thought was pretty even though we went 1-0 up. Probably deserved. But in the second half, you have to wonder what goes on in our dressing room at halftime. Give up a goal 50 seconds in, and we have 5 at the back, which we all want. I want it, 4 doesn't work. But how does a ball from the touch line, or not the touch line, the halfway line, long ball over, Che Adams wins it, header down to Ward-Prowse, acres of space, sends Godfrey down to the fucking river, slots it home. How does that happen? Like, that was dreadful defending. Dreadful defending. And I'd argue that goal was worse than our second goal that we gave. Because it's so easy. It's 2 passes. Long ball, header down. And Che Adams is good. He's not great, but he's good. He's serviceable. But that, and then the header down, and then Godfrey down the river, it's laughable. It's the same mistakes. It's something else. And then we go, Dom has his chance off the deflection, and then we go give up the second goal. And, people were slating Mikolenko, what are you doing? And Mikolenko did not have a good game, don't get me wrong. He was exposed. And people were slating Anthony for that dumb foul, which it is a dumb foul. It's a stupid foul. Ridiculous. You don't do that. But someone I was in a Twitter space for about 10 minutes today had a great point that Damari Gray, before that, break occurred, was doing fuck all, gives the ball away instead of putting it in the box, and then just stands there while this break occurs, and then Gordon actually tracks back, gives away a stupid foul, but at least he tried. And because I was slating Anthony very hard for that goal, it's like, why do that? But Damari Gray, dreadful, and that sums up the side. Like, one day he'll be great, 1 day out of 20, but today every decision was the wrong decision that he made, and it's just that sums up the team. It's good footballers. Not great footballers. We have no great footballer on our side. Good footballers, but they constantly underperform. And you have to ask yourself why. And at the end of the day, you can point to the board. You can't point to the fans. You cannot point to the fans. Even when we get on the backs of the players at home. It's not the fans' fault, I think. You look at the players. The team has changed from 4 years ago. I remember when it used to be the same old thing. We would shrink. We would go back regress into a shell, essentially. And a completely different side. Only Coleman remains. And it's the same thing. And I have to put it on the manager. Nice guy. He gets us. He bought into being a Blue. But at the end of the day, you know, he has to go. And he's going to be a scapegoat because Bill Kenwright, he's not going anywhere. I want him gone, but we all know he's not going anywhere. He's a leech, a fraud, a charlatan, but unfortunately, he's not going anywhere. And it's going to be Frank that gets scapegoated. Terrible tactician. He's probably a great man manager and great with the players. But as a tactician, he's terrible. And you know, at the point that we're in, it has to be Deitch. Is it Eddie Deitch? Sean Deitch. Excuse me, I was thinking of Eddie Howe. Been on the AL. Excuse me. But Sean Deitch, you know, he's got to come in. He's got to sort these lot out and figure out a way. I don't see us staying up this year. I genuinely don't. I know last year was tough enough as it is and draining for the fans. It seemed like it was draining for everybody but the fucking board. It feels like they want us to go down, which is ridiculous, but it is what it is, I guess. So he has to come in and somehow sort us out. And yeah, the match, you know, I knew once we gave up that first goal, we were going to lose the match. We have no spirit, no spine. You know, we have Cody and Tarky, but, you know, their magic that was here for the first couple months is worn off because it's Everton. Everton, and, you know, we can't parade ourselves through a full 38-match season. And yeah, and we're going to go down. I've made my peace with it. I know it's not easy, but I'm broken with it. And, you know, with the quality we have with the back four, and Coleman wasn't bad. You know, he's not great, but, you know, he's old, and it is what it is. But he's not bad. And Mikolenko is not good. He's not terrible, as some people say on Twitter. You know, he's average. But you see teams like Tony Pulis' West Brom, who had much worse teams than we've had. They've found ways to stay up. And so it comes down to the individual coaching. Like, we don't have a center forward. We don't have any threat up top. And that's an issue because you have to score goals to win games. But the back four of the midfield are solid enough to be Premier League quality. But yet they consistently underperform every week. And so you have to point a finger at whom? The manager. And so that's an issue. That's an issue that has to be addressed. As far as the strike force up top, I mean, Sims got 8 minutes today, better than Mape. Sims wasn't terrible, I'll have to admit, but he's not the answer. And him getting abuse off the photo I saw, I didn't see any videos with Sims, but the photo, disgraceful. All of the videos were disgraceful. And, you know, let's comment on that. So Yeri, let's go with Yeri first. You know, he got out of his vehicle for him. Fair play for that. That shows a lot of balls to get out of your vehicle with a lot of angry blues around him. And, you know, he said, you know, when I play, and Yeri dies for us on the pitch. It's a shame he's not on the pitch too often. But when he's on the pitch, he gives it his all. And he's a warrior. And he battles for the 3 points every time. You know, you can see that. He has his fun with the dances, but he battles. You know, and so I respect that he got out of the car to confront the fans and talk to them. For the Anthony incident, you know, I saw where he sped up, yada, 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 you know, maybe endangered some fans. I don't know the whole incident, but he's a 21-year-old. He's young. He's a kid. I don't care. 21 in the States, you're an adult. You're still a kid. I was 21. We've all been 21. You're still an idiot. So, you know, for him to get fronted by the fans, what do they want him to say? Oh, I'm back. You know, sorry for the fucking, you know, foul. Sorry for that terrible Scouse impression, but, you know, like, what do you want him to do? He's scared. Yeah, the ego has gone to his head. You know, he's got his license plate. You know, he's got the locks. You know, it's gone to his head clearly. But what good does it do to confront him? And so that's on the fans. That's the only stick I'll give to the fans is don't do that. That doesn't help anybody, you know. But I get the frustration. You know, I'm only here. You're going to say, oh, I'm just a Yank, you know, watching at 7 a.m. on the West Coast here. But, you know, I'm not spending my hard-earned money. But, you know, I still love the club. Watch every match. I have it tattooed on me. And I get the frustration. But that's not the way to go forward. You know, I don't know if meeting the coach is the way to go forward. At this point, I'm inclined to say, don't go to the match. You know, we have the best following in the country, bar none. You know, show them where it hurts. They know we go to the match. Don't go to the match. Show them. It's not that we don't care. It's that we're done with this. We're not going to put up with it. Because if we keep giving them the money, if we keep showing up and do these protests, which I do agree with, but they don't work. Because Kenwright won't do that. Or won't change anything from that. So, you know, I think the only next logical step is to not go. And you know, I'm rambling. I'm frustrated. I wasn't even gonna make a video, but I felt like I had to say something. And unfortunately, for Frank, he's gonna be sacked. But it has to be done. But it doesn't. I mean, we may stay up this year. I don't think we will. We may. You know, it's the Premier League. Anything can happen. But until we rid the club of these leeches, nothing will change. Nothing will change. And so, a grim night, what is it, 19, 18 matches left to go. You know, I'll be there watching every match, making a video here and there, hopefully positive ones, but not hopeful. But we go, and West Ham, you know, next week, oh, we're going to lose, but it is what it is. Up the fucking toffees, Colin Chong.